What's going on, everybody? Well, it is Friday again, and here in East Tennessee, just a little bit ago, it was absolutely pouring the snow. I am ready for this mess to be over with. I'm ready for sunshine and warm weather. But we will go ahead and get into today's recap. Hey, I'm still doing stupid stuff. I ain't learned yet. I am letting the NQ push my buttons and get me on the wrong side, and I have got to work on that. Again, that's a main reason for these videos, to try to better myself. We will go ahead and start out on a larger time frame, and this is the 1 hour chart. Where to start? Golly day, this market has just been nuts here lately. In my previous videos, I had talked about, drawing these areas of interest, these grayed out areas. I'll shrink it down a little bit, and I just go off support and resistance from the past. Like this area up here, you can see we've hit it several times out through here, and I just grade in that area. The same with this area, we touched here, we touched here, we touched here, and here, and I just carry it on over, and down here the same as well. And if it's, a difference, I just kind of split it a little bit, and there's no exact dollar amount. I just put it in that area. So I do think there is an advantage to drawing those, and the reason I think that is, like, for instance, right here, we pushed down, we did break it a little bit, but it held. We pushed up at market open. We was almost back into this zone. We sold off a little bit. We pushed through that area of interest, and we made it plumb to this area of interest. So it just kind of gives you an idea of where the market can go. But yesterday on my video, I drew this bear flag right here, and I said, it looks like it's making the bear flag, and if we break that, we might can flush. Well, it broke it yesterday evening, and it sold off 500 points. I mean, that's crazy. We went down into this area of interest, and it did push back up, and in the day it opened crazy, and eventually it just pushed up the rest of the day. But we will go ahead and get into the smaller time frame here and get into my profit and loss for today. I guess we'll just start out with some of the stupid stuff that I have done today. As you can see, majority of my accounts, I hit my profit goal just about on all of them. They're all over $200 or better. Is an outstanding day. I'm tickled to death with that. The two that I requested a payout on the other day did get approved, so I trade those accounts today. This 77 was actually one of those accounts, and I made it, to my sixth payout on it, and I left some money in there for the buffer. I should have just took it all out. As you can see, I lost that account today. I only had $700 of drawdown left in it. Again, I should have just took the full payout and not left any in it, but I thought I could push it back up there and get a payout, and of course busted it today. This one didn't really have much in it. It had a few $100, and I busted it as well, and I will show you on the chart here in just a second that what set me off this morning, and the NQ pushed my buttons, and I got on the wrong side of it, and I lost both of these accounts pretty close together, and I had to stop for a minute and kind of, regain my thoughts and move on forward. So we will go ahead and get into that. But anyways, the profit and loss today was pretty good, other than those two ones that I blew up. I'm still going to have to do better. I'm going to have to quit letting the NQ, get to me like that. But, that's the hardest part of trading, is emotions. You are your worst enemy in trade. But anyways, you can see again, hey, on the 5-minute opening range, it's almost 200 points again. ATR, I think, again today was like 44, 45. That is just nuts. It's hard to trade when it's like, it is just so whippy. It can tick you out in just 1 second. It might jump 30 points. But anyways, I did trade some before the 5-minute opening range. I took a trade right here that kind of made a bull flag, and I was pretty confident that it would push on up. I actually rotated through a couple accounts right here, but what got me was, and yesterday in that video I mentioned about trading color changes, and I'll get into that here in a minute, and that is kind of a risky strategy, and I only use it on evals. I really don't trade my funded accounts with that strategy because, like I said, it is risky. Definitely a high risk strategy that I would not trade a funded account with. But anyways, we come down, we push back through, and we failed. And right down here, I caught some of these trades to the downside. As soon as we broke that green and red body there, I entered a trade to the downside, and I rotated through a couple of accounts right here. Right here is a bear flag. I traded it to the downside, so I figured, today was going to be like yesterday. We push up and then we just sold off. So I figured we was going to make it back down in here into VWAP, or maybe even fell the low of the day, the 5-minute opening range. So what did I do? So I started trading. Again, we pushed back up. We failed. I entered a trade when we failed this green body and red body. I had an order waiting. I got in a trade. I just was cycling through my accounts. And right here, I entered a trade. I was a tad bit early, and no more than it bought me in. It shot right back up and got me out. Now, it was a losing trade. It was like $300 and some. And as soon as it shot up, this market was whippy this morning. It shot right back down and started failing again. And I was certain that it was going to sink. So I got back in the trade. Well, what'd it do? It shot right back up and got me out again. So I am, I can feel it. I can feel it building inside me. So I just said the heck with it. I went ahead and I broke one of my rules. I upped my position size because, I was just so confident that it was going to go on down. Well, it started failing again. This candle right here, we broke the trend line, drew a trend line. We broke it, and I waited just a minute. I let us get below this wick. In these two bodies here, I entered the trade again, and I was actually in profit for a minute, but I was being greedy because I was wanting to get back all that money that I had lost, and I was certain that we would just shoot on down to VWAP. And what happened? That sucker, well, you can see, it shot straight right back up, and that 1 minute candle, 743, that's a 70-point candle. You ain't gonna survive that. Not with the size I was trading. It smoked that account, and that set me on tilt, and then I ended up losing that other one where I had just, $700 to draw down, and I had to quit for a minute. I had to step back. I was aggravated. Probably said few choice words that I shouldn't have, but it was aggravating, to let it get to me like that. And I know better, but I still let it do it. And that is something I have definitely got to work on moving forward. We actually did kind of calm down toward the end of the day. You can see it just started getting choppy. And then up here after 1 o'clock, we just went sideways until toward the close. And boy, that sucker, it shot right up, and then, it kind of sold off. But now let's talk about that strategy I was talking about for evals. And like I said, it is a high risk strategy. I play it quick. I just look for, 5 to 10 points. I don't look, for it to go far. I just want to be quick in and out. That is just a fast way to pass evals, and I trade with larger size. Like on a 50K account, the maximum contracts you can trade is 10. So that is what I trade. Usually I trade 10. And what I mean by color change is exactly that. Well, I moved my stinking area. Let me try to get out of this mess. It's so choppy. But let's say, it dropped and it's pushing back up right here. You have all these green candles. You have a red candle. Well, if I'm trading evals, as soon as we start pushing back up and break that red candle, which is what, I call it, is just a color change, I will enter that trade. And like I said, I am just looking for 5-6 points. A lot of the times it will shoot up and you might get 10 or 20 points. But I am just looking for a quick in and out. Again, you can see right here, it shot up, it pulled back, it changed color, it went from green to red. Then it changed color again, went from red to green. So you jump in the trade as soon as it breaks the body. Don't worry about the wicks, you're just looking at the body, and this is on a 1 minute time frame. It may work on a 2, I don't know, but on a 1 minute, I'm just looking to get in and out fast. So you can see we pushed on up right here. We had another color change. It went from green to red, and we pushed again. So as soon as it broke that red candle, you get in because it is a color change. And you can see we shot up. Again, here you go. It turned red, we pulled back. It turned green, it pushed up. Well, it had another green candle. We broke that body, and that is a color change. So you enter the trade, and that one you would have got a few points if you would have had a trailing stop, because when we broke through, that's 86, it got up to 93. That's just 6 points, but still, if you was, had a trailing stop, you'd have gained a few points on it. And like I said, it is a high risk strategy. I don't know what the win-loss ratio is of it, but I've never kept track of it. But as you can see, even later in the day, kind of when it slows down here, when we start pushing, we have a color change, green to red, and you have another color change. It goes from red to green as soon as it breaks the body of that red candle. Enter the trade, pushes up, And I can't stress this enough. You're just looking for quick ins and outs, 5 or 6 points. Trading with 10 minis, it don't take long to pass a 50K challenge, or vice versa. It don't take long to fail it. But you can see every time there's a color change, I mean, it looks like it has a pretty good ratio on this chart. And it works the same to the downside, you know. Like right here's a color change, red. It went to green, and then it come back to red. So you would enter when we broke the body of that green candle to the downside. It works both ways. That is how I trade my evals, unless, you know, where I got red folder nose or something. But I come in here and I just trade color changes. I try to go with the trend. If the trend is up, I look for pullbacks, and I look for it to continue on up. If the market is selling off, I look, you know, just to get short. But maybe that will help you. I was actually playing with it today. You can see, I wish that was real. This is a sim account. I was playing with that strategy, just color changes, and you can see I made $30,000. I wish that was real. But I was trading extremely large and just playing around, you know. But anyways, as this market goes for tomorrow, hey, if we can get back above this area here, that 25,300, I believe we can, you know, creep on back up. But this right here may hold us down. I don't know. If we do fail, I look for us to come back down into this area of interest, and hopefully it'll push back up. But I guess we'll have to wait till Monday. I don't know why I said tomorrow. I guess we'll have to wait till Monday. Today is Friday. But anyways, hey, I hope you all have a great weekend. Don't get snowed in. Hit the like and subscribe button if you don't care. It just helps support my channel. And I will see you all Monday.